Hello my friends. After our video about asking us everything you would like to know about our relationship, we received a question from Mr. Tolosa asking, how do you manage the time differences in LDR? And in this video, I'm going to tell you how Candy and I are managing the time difference of 6 or 7 hours, depending on if it's summer or if it's winter in the Netherlands. So let's dive right in. Now, managing time can be a hell of a job, that's for sure. And we have to do it wisely. And we have to make sure that we won't get that feeling that we are tired of feeling disconnected from each other because of those time zone differences. So what are the real secrets to make LDR time zones work for us instead of against us? Well, from communication strategies to scheduling hacks, I'll cover it all. And Candy and I became masters in managing time with each other. Make sure you watch until the end, because there will be the icing on the cake to make sure that also you're going to last. So here are 5 challenges that Candy and I were and sometimes are facing, and for every challenge I'll give you solutions, so it won't hit you too hard. So number 1, difficulty coordinating schedules for quality time. The core challenge is the time difference itself. It's about 6 to 7 hours with us, and it makes it very difficult to find overlapping times when Candy and I are free and not engaged in work, family obligations, or sleep. Weekdays are particularly challenging for quality time. The solutions. 1. A big part of our solution is that we simply accept it, that there won't be many overlapping times. It is what it is. Acceptance gave us space in our mind to be able to do what we can do. That helped a lot. 2. We also found moments where we could have quality time together. And we tried to have 1 or 2 moments every week for a longer video call or normal call, just to be together as close as you possibly can be. So number 3 is that we also qualified the low quality time as high quality time. It sounds like a trick, but for example, every day when I'm working and I won't have time for conversation, video calling and things like that, a text here and there would be okay too, of course. But then we found out that there were moments we could have a video call, although we couldn't really talk because I was working. But then we saw each other at least, and I was there with her quite often in her evenings until she fell asleep. Even I was working, we still had some time together, and it felt we were really close. And that felt good. It is worth so much. Then solution number 4. We started to appreciate the small moments of just a few minutes more and more. And when we were doing that, there came more and more of these moments. Sometimes Candy just called me randomly, and I, for example, was walking the kids to school, so I didn't really have much time. But just a little hi and I love you there, that's it. And it puts a smile on my face for the whole day. Now the second challenge, that is the potential for feeling disconnected. The time difference can lead to feelings of disconnection. And especially if communication isn't prioritized or if there are long stretches without interaction. Especially in the start of our relationship, it felt like we really needed to be connected all the time. But of course, we couldn't. Just like in real life. When Candy and me got to know each other better, we got to know how the life of each other goes. So even if, for example, Candy wouldn't tell me what's going on exactly, I already knew because of the history we had and the things we shared before. And that's the moment it can happen more easily. Thinking something like, oh, I will text her later, or I'll just say I love you when there is too many things going on, or something like, oh, I know she's busy, so I'll just wait until she's not that busy anymore. But before you know, you can really feel disconnected. It's easy to lose the feeling of connection. So we found some solutions that really work for us and hopefully work for you too. So here are our solutions. 1. We sent each other texts throughout the day. just to keep each other a bit updated on what's going on and also show love to each other. The next thing what we do is we also send pictures of the things we're doing, even the most stupid things sometimes. For example, when I was shaving my face, I made a picture doing that. And it doesn't matter what she or I will send, it's the fact that we send. That was something that made us feel more connected. So number 3 is that we also share quite often our thoughts about difficulties we are facing individually. We always try to help each other out by thinking together. And sometimes we don't get the other, but because of the explanation sometimes, just the answer to a difficulty pops up. The connection gets stronger and stronger every day, and it's still going on. Candy and I also started to share our spiritual and religious thoughts and feelings. Reading the Bible and also praying keeps us close and makes us even more close every day. Another challenge that we faced was neglecting other social connections. When you're focusing too much on communicating with each other, that can lead to neglecting friendships, family, and other social activities, which can lead to isolation. The biggest challenge we had was maybe this one, because I found out it's very hard to manage my time with the time difference we had. It felt like I hardly had time for other things, especially on the weekends. So I was not paying enough attention to my friends and my family, and I could have felt isolated and maybe would be really isolated if I would continue doing that. Well, the solutions that we found was 1, we started talking about our relationship with more and more people who we wanted or already spent time with. We made the agreement that we can always call each other no matter what. If we can't pick up, then we won't. If we can pick up, we also might be with a friend or family sometimes. And that's okay. We are a true part of each other's lives, just like in real life. We call, we text, sometimes we really need the other for something. And the beautiful thing about this is also that you both will see who the other is spending time with, but also the people around us are getting more and more used to the fact that we are having the relationship. The second thing is that more and more we are doing the things we would normally have done in a real relationship too. So we go out, hang with friends, have other activities with people, also helping people out, whatever comes to life. Now challenge number 4. Misunderstandings due to differing schedules and different ways of life. Not being mindful of each other's local time and schedule can lead to unmet expectations and frustration. For example, when I was expecting a call from Candy when she was busy cooking dinner, having dinner, doing the dishes, and taking care of her sister's kids. And although Candy and I didn't have any big frustrations or misunderstandings, it's always very close. Some things are cultural, so very different at her place than at mine. Another example is that she needed to stay at the hospital with her uncle for a couple of days as a watcher or a runner. She explained to me how that works there, and I was like, okay, for the first time, there was no problem at all, especially when I learned how it works over there. But the second time, I got a bit grumpy and selfish. I wanted to have more time with her, and because of that, I couldn't. I also was worried about her, because it meant lack of sleep and needing to be alert for 3 days. I had many thoughts of what should happen instead. Solutions. I would say trying to learn more about the situation. When we run into something like this, let's just try to learn more about each other's ways of thinking and handling situations and how things work in our culture and our society. You will learn a lot. The differences between the Netherlands and the Philippines are really big. So there's a lot to learn, and that could be a very interesting journey. So the other thing is that you need to take time to reflect on what is really happening. Sometimes emotions take over quite a lot. And when that happens, mostly Candy takes some time to reflect. I should really do that more often, but she's a kind of expert in my eyes. When emotions are lower, we always find out that the most of the time the ego is telling what to find, and most of the time, like always, the ego is so wrong. So we act wrong. And you need to realize that, and when you both do, things will be at more peace. Also for a next time. So the fifth challenge that we faced is the difficulty of spontaneous interaction and shared experiences. In our relationship, we have to deal with quite a large time difference, so spontaneity was greatly reduced. Interactions were often planned and scheduled, which, while necessary, made our relationship feel less organic. And it's harder to just be together in the moment and share fleeting experiences. So sometimes we both felt like missing out on the small everyday moments that build intimacy in a relationship. And what I'm going to tell you now, that is the icing on the cake to be able to really make it in your long distance relationship. So here it comes. Are you ready? The thing is, we made our relationship slowly but surely to a totally normal relationship. Of course, we had the time difference, but less planning and just calling, texting, and sending pictures spontaneously. It makes the relationship more organic, and sometimes I just forgot that it's LDR. It feels more like she's on a long business trip, but a lot by my side too. Sometimes she takes me with me while she's shopping for something. She took me with her on a doctor's visit, for example. I took her with me to my parents or invited her over when my parents came here. Also, unlimited calling, texting, sending pictures, sharing things, just like we would normally do with our partner in real life. So, what is important in the end? Well, accept that overlapping time will be limited and find moments for quality time even if they are short. Prioritize communication by sending texts, pictures, and sharing thoughts throughout the day. Maintain other social connections by involving friends and family in your relationship and continuing to participate in activities. Be mindful of each other's schedules and cultural differences, and take time to reflect on every misunderstanding you have. Strive for spontaneity by calling, texting, and sharing moments organically, just as you would in a normal, geographically close relationship. So, what are your experiences? We would love to know them. Do you also have other suggestions to deal with time difference, or are you already doing the solutions that Candy and I have found? Please let us know in the comments right there. And if you liked our video, please consider to like this video and subscribe to our channel. It will help others to find this information easier, and it will also help our channel to grow, which would be awesome. I want to give Mr. Carlos Tolosa a big shout out for his question that he posted on our Q&A video. And if you have any question to us and you would like to get a shout out too, well, watch this Q&A video here, and there are instructions how to get it done. I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you in another one. Bye for now.